Going live, going live. Johnny 5 is alive. Tully Television here. You're a Thursday night stream, 8 p.m. Eastern. What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in, staying tuned in, subscribing, liking, sharing, all that beautiful YouTube stuff. I hope I find you in great spirits today. And if not, I hope your day gets a little bit better. I hope that my interaction with you brings your day up a little bit. Um, Today we're going to be talking a few things. We're going to be talking vacation friends. I left the trailer down in the description down below. It's a comedy with John Cena. It looks hysterical. Going to be talking Henry Cavill. Um, Meeting with DC. I'm not DC. Obviously, he's met with DC. He's Superman after all. Henry Cavill meeting with Marvel. Okay. Dun dun dun. I wonder what that's gonna be. Um, and a couple other things. Gonna give you a couple of thoughts on Space Jam, but I wanted to. Uh, I won't go into a full review because I'm gonna have Jordan come on and do his new segment called "Everyone's a Critic." In that Vacation Friends movie, Daniel Kalehia Kluuya is in that movie too. He's the other lead. I like him. He's a pretty funny cat. Um, Also, I want to talk about this young adult graphic novel that DC put out called "I Am Not Starfire," and I think I'm going to start with that. I think I'm going to start with the "I Am Not Starfire" release that um, DC has put out. It centers around Starfire's daughter and her. I guess her trying to maneuver the world. It looks horrible. Um, the character looks horrible. The character design is horrible. Uh, it's supposed to be the daughter of Dick Grayson and Starfire, and I don't know how she came out looking like a dumpy little trash troll. Um, if you look at even the genetics of Dick Grayson and Starfire, there's no way you're telling me that their daughter came out looking like that. And then to reject her mother so staunchly um, doesn't make any sense. Starfire has always been known to be a sweetheart, friend, uh, loyal, someone who is understanding because she once was the outsider here on Earth, and it wasn't if it wasn't for the help of the Titans, Raven, Dick, Cyborg, Beast Boy, she would have continued to be an outsider and not accepted as fastly as she was. So for her daughter to feel like such an outcast to her own mother, it doesn't make sense, character wise, story wise. But I know that it's not geared towards me. It's geared towards a younger audience, but it's I think it's just the wrong character to use. If you look up the writer of this story, it's obviously a self insert character, meaning that she based the character off herself. Um, I'm going to find out the writer of it. Let's see, I want to make sure I get the name right. because I want to make sure. Marika Tamaki. Okay. Now, this is what the writer of I Am That Starfire looks like. A little short, dumpy looking woman. And believe me, I'm no GQ model myself. I'm not trying to say I'm better looking than anybody else on any sort of level. Some people find me stunning. How you doing? Some people don't. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, let's see here. And so, if you see the character there, all right, it's obviously based off of herself. Okay. And now, yes, when you're a writer, you're supposed to write experiences in your book that you can relate to, that other people can relate to. But this is like basically the equivalent of me trying to act as if I'm a Superman type of character, and using my body type in the drawings. Not for nothing, when you're a superhero, you're consistently training, consistently doing this, you're consistently doing that, and you're telling me that you'll still have a stomach? No. I understand that the character got caught up in a conflict with the ant and stuff like that, because the ant and her wanted the ant wanted to take over the she took over the throne, but she wants to fight the daughter for the throne. So it's kind of like, well, yeah, all right, um, whatever. But yeah, it's not something that I'm really looking to read. Um, I don't think it's not something that I'm definitely going to be reading or looking at. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. That DC would put money into this project because of the comic industry not being as strong as it once was. Manga and Japanese comic books are kind of in the forefront. Um, Demon Slayer, these type of books are overtaking Marvel and DC in the top spot, especially here in the West. And it's because you're putting stuff like this out, DC. You're putting stuff out like Marvel wanted to put out the New Warriors with Safe Space and Snowflake and Trailblazer, and yeah, horrible, horrible, horrible designs, horrible uh, origin stories. Like one of the kids was going to be a gayness Paris through internet gas. What the fuck is internet gas? What is that? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Um, but I'm gonna move on now to Henry Cavill talking to Marvel. A friend of mine and I were talking about what possible roles he could play. I initially had said Century, uh, being he's played Superman, he can play someone like the Century, no problem. But Jordan, who one that said that he thinks that he might become Captain Britain, and that's a good way to introduce Captain Britain is with Henry Cavill. You can say that England tried to do their own version of the super soldier serum, and it came in the form of Captain Britain in the end. And also, don't forget that in the comics, Captain Britain's sister, Elizabeth Braddock, was um, in the X Men and eventually became Psylocke. So you can do that as well, or introduce that character into the MCU as well, and that will could be your future X-Men Easter egg if we didn't get the X-Men yet or mention a mutant yet there. So um, two characters, especially one being Henry Cavill, if he accepted a role, and then through extension, the sister, which they would have to cast for someone. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. If they do, if Henry Cavill does come on board with the MCU, I hope that it's for a while, and I hope that it's as badass as I'm hoping because Henry Cavill is a fine specimen of a man. You couldn't look for anyone more dedicated to his body than Henry Cavill. I mean, obviously, all these guys are dedicated to their body. They should, if they're getting paid millions of dollars to just exercise in between movies, basically. But he's really shredded. He really takes his role seriously, and that will matter for me in the MCU, especially with how some of these other projects are looking. I'm not really interested in a lot of these projects coming out, like Eternals and the Marvels. I'm really not looking forward to those projects. Um, Shang-Chi, I'm looking forward to, and the What If series that's coming out in August. Now that we're done with Loki season one, I'm gonna definitely be watching the What If series there and doing reviews for the channel on that. Um, but yeah, I think that Henry Cavill will be a great addition to the Marvel franchise because of his star power, his dedication to roles, and with the right role, I can definitely see this lasting a while, and not just in some one-off that they have him come in and do. Um, I that's why I like Michael Douglas. Like for example, Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, I like, but with his age, I mean, how much Hank Pym can we get before Michael Douglas in real life? Um, because he's closer to the grave than not, unfortunately. Um, but at least like with Henry Cavill, he can be around for a while. You know what I mean? He'll be able to do say a franchise of movies, and if let's say if he does do Captain Britain, like Jordan suggested, um, that could be. You can definitely pull a trilogy of movies out of that, and have it be connected to some sort of Avengers movie too. And if that's all he wants to do, 4 or 5 movies, that would be okay because that's about the run he did in DC. You know, he did in Man of Steel, he did Batman vs Superman, he did uh, Justice League. You know, so that's pretty much like the Superman trilogy there. Um, but yeah, that was my views on Henry Cavill and stuff. Let's see here. Space Jam. Space Jam. I've seen Space Jam last weekend with the family. And, not for nothing, a lot of people got upset at that movie. They said it sucked. They say that LeBron James sucks. They say the movie sucked. And I was kind of indifferent to the movie. I think that the reason why I like the original movie just a little bit better is because of the soundtrack. I think that's what's mainly holding people up is the soundtrack to the original Space Jam. The I Believe I Can Fly and Welcome to the Space Jam. Y'all know what movie I'm talking. Movie, yes, obviously Space Jam. Song I'm talking about. Um, I wasn't big on the soundtrack to this newer version of Space Jam. But I mean, the animation looks cleaner. Um, the story um, seems to have more stakes, but also uh, you got a couple little goofs like the crowd cheering for the sun. Why would you cheer for the sun when if he wins you get stuck? So why would you cheer for him? And I understand. I'm not saying actively boo children, but in this scenario, I'd be booing that child. Boo, lose. I don't want to be stuck here in the WB server first for the rest of my life. Boo. But if you're trying to say that this movie sucked because LeBron James acting isn't on tier with like an Eldris Alba or Al Pacino, obviously LeBron James is a basketball player, and he, that's where his forte is. Whether you agree with his politics or not, he is one of the better basketball players that have ever played the game. That's where his talents lie. And I'm glad that they kind of focused on when they were trying to get him to be inserted into these franchises that it was basically a big Warner Brothers commercial. Okay, you've seen all the Warner Brothers properties like Harry Potter and Batman and Superman and this and that. Um, the Justice League not helping, that was a little bit of a stretch for me because if you explain the situation, they would help, even with the mistake that was made with the train, with Super Daffy. But I think that overall it was an okay movie. It was meant, excuse me, indigestion today. It was meant for a family movie. It wasn't meant for a 40-year-old to. If you're going in it as a basketball fan only, you're going to be disappointed too because it's not like watching the movie Hoosiers or watching a serious basketball movie, say like Coach Carter or something. Um, it's a goofy family movie with cartoon characters in it, and some movies are not meant to be Academy Award winning movies. They weren't made for that. Um, Not saying that children's movies or kids' movies have to be trash, because some of them are not trash, but people are taking this a little bit more uh, seriously. And listen, Michael Jordan uh, wasn't stealing any awards in that original Space Jam either. It was a great movie. Don't get me wrong. Definitely a legendary movie to show your kids that anything can happen. You want your kid to be a kid as long as they can be with that magic in their brain that anything can happen at any time. And that's what these movies were about. If you're a 40, 50-year-old man and what are you fucking doing watching this to just want to complain about LeBron James? You hate LeBron James so much, you're going to watch his movie. Makes sense to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I thought that was funny. Um, but yeah, those are some of my thoughts on that. I'm trying to think um, what else has been going on. I read, um, I finished up that Uncanny Avengers story that I was reading, and that was pretty interesting. It was when Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver found out uh, who their parents were when they found out Magneto wasn't their father. I'm trying to think. Oh, they casted a new Batwoman to play in an HBO Max series, and people losing their mind because it's a Dominican actress playing um, Barbara Gordon. I don't know why my brain is not working today. Um, a Dominican actress playing Barbara Gordon, a redhead, blue-eyed white woman. And listen, man, I yes, Barbara Gordon is a redhead and blue-eyed and white. And yes, they hired a Dominican actress to play Batwoman, Barbara Gordon, in an HBO Max series. But um, if they're gonna keep doing these things, you know what I mean? They're gonna keep gender swapping, race swapping. I just hope that when they do this, they're not. I feel like sometimes you tarnish the legacy of these characters, but if you can add something new to it, I hope that is where we can go with it. So, people losing their minds over Dominican Batwoman. Good luck to you, young lady, whoever you are. I'm sure you've been getting a lot of messages about this, and good luck in your endeavor. I'll say that. Um, I do wish sometimes they would keep these things more comic accurate, but at the same time, I'm willing to give certain things a chance and see how it works. And I'd be willing to give this show a chance, uh, but I've never been a big Batwoman fan like that in the first place. Um, she has her. She has. I mean, she's a legend. Don't get me wrong. She's been involved in legendary storylines. I mean, she was beaten up and assaulted by the Joker in ways that more than just beating up and shooting her. He took advantage of her body, and the father watched. Commissioner Gordon watched. So you know, you have that character who had to deal with that, and then uh, being in a wheelchair and still learning she can be a hero, and that being disabled isn't holding her back from being the hero that Gotham needs. I hope they concentrate on that story more. The story of her realizing she's more than a capable person, uh, despite her being paralyzed from the waist down. And I hope that they concentrate on that aspect of her character, the fighter in her, as opposed to um, I'm Irish, I'm Dominican, I'm Korean. Okay, all right, you're this, but what does that mean about your character, your personal growth? You know what I mean? It's the same thing as saying I'm straight, I'm gay, I'm bi, I'm pan. Okay, more power to you. But what does that mean about your character? What does that mean about your personal growth in a story? You know what I mean? Where you want me to get behind you as a character, as a villain, as a hero. Well, those are just traits that you have that you live your personal life to. Um, no one can control being Irish or Italian or Dominican or black or this or that. But what you can control when you become an adult is whether you're a good person or a bad person. Or are you a good person who occasionally does bad things, or are you a bad person who does occasionally good things? Which one of you are those people? I like to see where your mind thought and process is, as opposed to now this character is black and they were once white, or this character is once white that they were once black. This character is now Korean instead of Filipino. Um, I agree. We all want to see ourselves on the screen. Okay, I totally get that. Um, but not at the expense of. character growth. You know what I mean? Uh, make it make sense to me. You know what I mean? People, the majority of people that do things aren't doing it just because um, of I don't know. Maybe I'm not making sense, but I hope that the series is good. I hope that uh, these things don't overshadow projects that can be good, but then it gets ruined because companies are trying to tick check marks next to. All right, we got a black actor. Now we need a Latin actor. Now we need an Asian actor. How about the person best suited for the job? Isn't that it's supposed to be how it is? The best person suited for the job based off of their actions and characteristics, their character. I don't know. I thought that's what the speech was about back in the 60s with Dr. King Jr. there. The character, the content of my character um, is supposed to be what these things are based off of. In reality, yes, I know it's not all the time, but I always thought it was supposed to be based on how you are and how skilled you are for the job. Is the most skilled person is supposed to get the job. Um, no, I'm just saying. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I hope that the series is okay. It's not something that I'm gonna be really keeping on top of, but good luck to the actress. I should find out the name of the actress though, uh, because I am interested in how she will. I new Batwoman. Let's see, new Batwoman. Let's see, movie actor. Oh, it's a Batgirl. Batgirl. All right, yeah, Batgirl. So I've been saying Batwoman. Batgirl. The new Batgirl is Leslie Grace. Leslie Grace, and she was in The Heights. Um, good luck, Leslie. Good luck to that degree. Um, but yeah, so we did. I talked about Space Jam, talked about Henry Cavill talking with Marvel. Oh, I wanna reach back around real quick. The reach around. We all like the reach around. The reach around back to Space Jam real quick. One of my major disappointments with this movie was they wanted to get rid of Pepe Le Pew, okay, but they kept the characters from Clockwork Orange in it. I might have mentioned this last week. I have a habit of repeating myself sometimes without realizing, but they kept the people who committed violent crimes in the movie. The Joker had a little cameo in the back somewhere. The Joker, who's killed how many people? These guys from Clockwork Orange killed and gang attacked women. Um, but you can't have Pepe Le Pew, a cartoon character. Give me a break, my guy. Give me a break. This world is crazy sometimes. This world is crazy. Um, yeah, so Loki finished recently, like I said. I'm going to be uploading that eventually once my guy Tim gets to it. He's been recovering lately. He hasn't been feeling too well. But he's been working on the Black Widow video that I did. He's going to be doing Loki episode 6 for me. And Loki episode 6. You'll get my video for that, but very interesting ending. But I'll leave the video. I'll leave that open for the video to come when it drops for you to get my thoughts on that. Um, I'm going to be doing a retro blast. I'm going to be recording a retro blast in the next couple of days. Uh, I'll tell you guys what it is now. The retro blast is going to be on the Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. And I feel like with the summer in at the height of summer at the moment, I figured let's have a movie about a summer vacation uh, with the great outdoors. And I think that you guys will enjoy that. It's a killer movie, a funny classic, two classic comedic actors in it. Um, John Candy was the bee's knees, man. May he rest in peace. So I'll be doing that soon. Um, I really want to thank everyone for stopping by and hanging out with me. It means the world to me. You guys are always uh, means a lot to me. You guys always stopping by, commenting, sharing, liking, all that beautiful stuff. Um, Without you guys, it wouldn't be definitely what it is today. Um, I just thank you guys so much for really helping the channel grow. I hope that I can earn you subscription today. I hope that you can find it in your heart to hit that subscribe bar down below. Hit all on that bell notification, like, comment, share, subscribe. Um, I'm up for anyone who ever wants to stop by or collaborate. Um, Here on Tully Television, I'm always up for collaborations. Uh, we're not above that. Anyone who wants to do uh, a series of videos for Tully Television, the only thing I can do is promise you the exposure on the channel at the moment because we're not exactly raking in the dough here on Tully Television. But I did leave a link down below in the description box for my Bonfire account. Hey, Fernando, what's up, my guy? How you doing, dude? What you think of Money in the Bank? I was a little disappointed with Peacock. That's what I wanted to talk about too. Peacock made me mad, bro. Last Sunday. First, um, yes, rest in peace to John Candy. You're right. Eternally grateful seas. Now, I don't know if you guys remembered me saying last week that this was going to be the first wrestling pay per view I purchased in months. First wrestling event I was going to watch in months because I don't do the cable anymore and I don't do the Sling app anymore really either because that was another. This just reminded me of something else I want to talk about before I leave you guys. But so I'm excited. Money in the Bank is one of my favorite wrestling pay per views because it gives these lesser known guys or these guys who are not in the main event all the time a chance to be in the main event. Okay, so you got 6, 7 guys who are all great, and you're like, oh man, who's going to win this? Who's going to win this? Or who's going to be Mr. Money in the Bank? And then the most exciting part after who wins it is when is he going to cash it in? Who is he going to cash it in on? When, where, how? You got a year to wait. You know what I mean? Some people did it like that. Some people waited almost a whole year. So the anticipation and an excitement of that I was, excited for. And um, I was happy about who won it. Uh, I was rooting for this guy, Matt Riddle, but Big E won it. I'm happy about that, so I'm not like disappointed. I was a little disappointed in the women's winner. I was kind of hoping for, um, well, I was kind of hoping like for Naomi to win that, but whatever the case may be, we get to to the men's Money in the Bank. Okay, last hour and a half probably of the pay per view. I'm already at an hour and a half, 2 hours into it, and the signal starts going out and not showing the pay per view. And I wound up just shutting it off because it's like I'm not going to sit here and keep hoping that it stops, because it was going on for like a good 5-10 minutes of in out in out in out in out, and it was getting annoying. And it was only I did the $5 plan. They got a $10 plan where you can skip the commercials or whatever. But I wasn't. But even though I spent $5 on it, I was a little mad because it's $5 that I took my time to earn for a multi-billion-dollar company to not know how to goddamn stream a freaking wrestling event, bro. Like, I know, and people may be like, "Oh, thankfully it was $5," and yes, a part of me is like, "Yeah, thankfully it was only $5 and not like um, Disney Plus where you have to spend the $8 on it and then $30 to watch it, like Black Widow." But yeah, $5 is $5. Vince McMahon has enough money. NBC has enough money, bro. And I know you can never have enough money, but how many of these people that ordered it through Peacock for the $5 plan or $10 plan? How many people was that they, this was like the first pay per view of people being back and stuff in the audience, and it kind of disappointed me, and it kind of made me just stick to looking things up on YouTube. There's this one channel that I watch to catch up on wrestling. It's called whatculture.com. It's a bunch of British guys talking about wrestling. They talk about American wrestling, European wrestling, and I usually get my wrestling news from them. I'll sit with the coffee in the morning and listen to these guys talk about wrestling for a few minutes, and then I'll watch Jim Cornette. He's a old times wrestling guy, and I'll listen to his podcast too, and get my wrestling news from him, and see what his opinions are. I love Jim Cornette. I think Jim Cornette is awesome. If you're a wrestling fan, you definitely know who he is. Um, but yeah, I was a little disappointed in the fact that I couldn't finish watching it. I was kind of looking forward to that match. And yeah, I'm not going to be doing that Peacock shit no more. Not anymore. And it only took me one time to lose $5, to not lose $5 again. But before I leave, this reminded me, the streaming service of Peacock reminded me of a news story that came out, how Netflix is losing subscribers crazily, and that they lost a ton of money this quarter and last quarter. Netflix lost money. Sorry there. And I kind of find it funny that because Chrissy, Mrs. Tully Television, hates Netflix. She doesn't really like Netflix too much. She says it's crap. And all these apps now, all these apps that came out that you thought by getting rid of cable that and doing the apps that would save you money. Not anymore these days. It's almost worth going back to cable, almost. Um, because let's think about, you got Netflix, you got Hulu, you got Disney Plus, you got Apple, you got if you I would do Shutter because I'm a horror fan. Uh, Prime. Uh, there's a good 7 or 8 apps that if I had the money to do, um, it would come out to almost $100 a month just doing apps, and that was supposed to cut your cable. That was the whole point of streaming apps, was to cut the cord. You know what I mean? Cut away from the cable, and now it's just as bad as cable. And with so many streaming apps out, and them trying to create content, not all of this content is going to be excellent. And then especially with this Cuties movie that came out some months back, that everyone uh, was wondering why that movie got made. And if you're unfamiliar with the movie Cuties, it's about a group of 4 or 5 12-year-olds joining basically a twerk team. Yeah, bunch of 12-year-olds joining a twerk team to win a competition, and that was okayed and greenlit. Hmm, interesting stuff. And then Netflix, and people wonder why they're losing money, because you're coming out with movies that are basically uh, encouraging certain behaviors and lifestyles, and people are kind of getting tired of that, being told that they need to like this or like that, because if they don't, they're some sort of phobe, you know what I mean, or misogynist. And that's not the case all the time. Sometimes it's just about, like, it's supposed to be this way, but whatever, do what you need to do. And let's hope that the content is great. Um, I will say the only things I've liked about Netflix lately um, is the Stranger Things show, which once that comes back out, I want to get that. Ozark. I think Ozark is an excellent show. So between Ozark and Stranger Things is the only reason why I would want to keep Netflix, and it helps me catch up on Shameless, which I've been mainly catching up on Shameless through Netflix. I think I'm on season 7 of that, or close to season 7 of Shameless. But yeah, we've been mainly doing HBO Max lately. I recently just did a Disney Plus account so we could do Black Widow. So we got Disney Plus, we got HBO Max, Prime. Those are primarily the ones that we use as far as streaming for movies and television shows. Yeah, the commercials on Peacock are a pain in the ass too. They want to charge you $10 for no ads, and if they're going to be having streaming problems, I'm not paying $10 for streaming problems. I'll watch the commercials. You know what I mean? Oh well, you're not getting an extra $5 out of me this time, NBC. You bums. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, and what I've been getting into with the HBO Max lately is I finished the first 2 episodes of Lovecraft, HP Lovecraft. That show's amazing, bro. That show is crazy good. Lovecraft. I kind of disappointed that they canceled it I don't know how the season ends yet, but I would imagine with the first two episodes that I watched that this could have lasted at least 3 seasons. I see so much potential already in the first two episodes of things they set up that, like, all right, I can see 2 to 3 seasons of this based off of certain stories they're already doing. But yeah, they canceled it, and that's a shame because I'm already hooked to episodes in. I know I'm a little late on that show, but with my guy being Kang and Loki, I definitely had to go check out Lovecraft. And Hunter B-15 was in that show. If you're familiar with her from Loki, but yeah, these Netflix is losing money, and uh, it's almost as if this is going to continue until they can start putting out better content. Um, I don't know. Uh, Only time will tell how far these. It's almost as if it hit the ceiling and there's going to be no more new customers to gain. Now you just have to try to keep the customers you have. That's the key, keeping the customers you have. Uh, Let me know what app that you guys use down below and for what reasons, what shows, what movies do you specifically look for in these apps. Um, but I'm going to start getting going, guys. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you. For those of you new coming in, or for those of you who have been coming in and have yet to subscribe, I hope that I've earned your subscription today and you hit that red subscribe bar down below. You hit all on that notification bell, like, comment, share, and until next time, peace, snookums.